The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Welcome once again to Service Matters, a weekly radio show that talks about the good things that are happening in local communities and beyond. We also like to talk about the good things that people do, like our guest today. And we're going to talk about things that we think are positive. I'm Dave Clifton. I'm happy to be your host. Welcome to WPRO, the voice of Southern New England. You can hear us on AM 630 or FM 99.7. We are indeed a Cumulus station. And of course, we've been on the air for about 15 years talking about good things. And there's lots more good things that we haven't heard about yet. And I personally think that we don't hear enough about good things. Today in my studio is a guest. His name is Judge Mcaliffe. Judge lives in Norfolk County. And he has served in the U.S. Army. He's a major. He's retired, and I'm happy to salute him on, and as well as all the veterans out there. Judge Mcaliffe, thank you so much for serving in the U.S. Army, and we don't pat enough veterans on the back for their time of service. If you could tell our listening and viewing audience how long have you served and where?
Okay, well, I started out, I guess I signed up officially on my 18th birthday. I signed the intent on I was 17, still in high school.
Wow.
I hitchhiked over to Norwood Recruiting Station intending to join the Marines or the Navy. They weren't in. A guy named Staff Sergeant Nick Damiano walked in. He kind of looked like Steve Reeves of the old Hercules movies without the beard. And I thought that was pretty impressive, being 17, I guess. And
it's amazing the fact that you had to hitchhike over to sign up your tour of duty. And I'll tell you, you like many veterans who have served our country, it made life a lot easier in the country as a result of you coming forward, and the fact that you went on and became a major is amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, like I said, Damiano came in. It was raining like blazes, so I was soaking wet, and he got me in his office for a heater and a promise of a Coke. He asked me what I wanted to do in the Navy. I said I wanted to be a frogman or in PT boats or be a CB. And he kind of shook his head at me like I've been watching too many movies,
So what did you end up doing?
He got me to sign in the Army for engineers. I figured that's combat engineers, CBs. He got me the line. They had more boats than the Navy, small boats. So I figured that's a PT boats. And I wasn't allowed to go underwater, except though I did later on in the 1970s, underwater A-team. So I ended up, she promised me airborne. I figured, well, I'd get out later, learn how to blow things up and run heavy equipment in there, and I'd be set for civilian world. So I did my tour in Georgia and Vietnam. Those are the two places I was stationed. Extended my tour so I could get out or when I came home. And I got home and I contacted Miss Haley. She was a guidance counselor at Sharon High School. She got me into Wentworth Institute prior to me enlisting.
So you did your military obligation first, and then you went back to school.
Right.
Wow.
So she got me into UMass. She told me if I wanted help when I got out, she's one of the people who really helped me a lot in life. So I'd like to talk about her a bit. Because if it wasn't her in my life, it would have gone a different way probably. So I sent her a letter from the Highlands over there, got covered with red dirt, and said, "Dear Miss Haley, you probably don't remember me, but..." She wrote back within 14 days, 7 each way. Dear George, certainly I remember you, and I remember the promise I made. And she kept it by getting my SATs ready to be taken again in May after I got home. And so I could get in that fall if I got selected anywhere. And to see her right away, which I did. We got hit Holy Thursday night, want those details, and Good Friday morning, I was home Easter morning. So it's kind of happening fast. And I saw her Monday after Easter, you know. So
You talk about people helping people, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And thanks to her, you were able to get your further education.
Right. She put me in UMass. I got turned down by most everybody else.
And you eventually became a teacher.
I became a teacher, and after I got out of UMass, I was a phys ed major because I like sports, but I knew I wasn't good enough to be a professional. And I kind of wanted to be like Coach Hall, or Joel Peckham would coach the baseball team, gymnastics, those guys, and model my life after them. So I graduated from UMass in '73, got married right afterwards, couldn't find a job because teaching had pretty much filled up. It was an occupational deferment while I was in. So needing a job real quick, I went back in the Army right away. Did some time with the 197th Infantry Brigade in Georgia, and put in for Officer Candidate School. Then I went through Officer Candidate School, and I guess November '74 through spring '75, March 6th, I think, or 7th, we graduated in '75. I thought about asking for Medical Service Corps to possibly be a physical therapist, whatever, when I got out, but then I got hit with the gung-ho bug a bit again. I chose infantry for my first choice, armor,
Wow.
engineers, and MSC, and artillery. Those were my first choice. I don't remember what to do with the rest of them.
If you just joined us, folks, we're talking with George Mcaliffe. He's a seasoned veteran, served as a major in the U.S. Army, and he's here today, and we salute him for his years of service. And he took the long way to get his degree in college, and he got it done, and that's what counts.
Well, thank you.
And we salute all the veterans out there. I know it's not Veterans Day or Memorial Day. The fact is that we appreciate all the efforts of veterans scattered throughout New England and around the country for serving to help make things safer for our country. I would like to give a shout out and thank you to ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. Adam Carrero is the producer, and he's the guy that pushes the right buttons for us. We're able to, as a radio station, broadcast from the TV studio, and they, in sync, pass the show over to the radio station that you folks are listening to right now. And we appreciate it. And Adam, I know that WPRO is going to be one of your favorite stations right now. Do you agree?
Yeah.
He's shaking his head, yes. But I got to tell you that the sense of cooperation between TV and radio has been outstanding. And we've been able to reach out to the local TV stations in Bristol County, in Norfolk County, and in the town of Easton, where this studio is located. They have a big celebration coming up during the year 2025. It's going to be the 300th anniversary of the town. Their theme is bringing families and community together. They have about 8 signature events that'll take place on 7 different days. It begins tomorrow, January 4th, and I should say it begins today. And the fact is that it's going to be an Easton kickoff event. It'll take place at Stonehill College from 1 to 5 p.m. We thank the college for cooperating with the town in terms of this first event. But that's not all, folks. They got they got events going on each month throughout the year. And let me just name a few. They have a Family Fun Day scheduled for April 19th. That's at Langwater Farm in Easton. That's scheduled from 10 to 2 p.m. On April 26th, they have an art and cultural festival that will take place at the Oak Ames Memorial Hall. You know, when you talk about history, folks, you have to take a walk around the town of Easton and you'll see all the historic buildings. And it's truly amazing the history that goes with the town of Easton. And that event, the Art and Cultural Festival, will take place from 11 to 4 p.m. Again, that date is April 26th. June 14th, George, is a big time in the town of Easton. They have a flag ceremony. They're going to honor all the veterans in the area, so you want to be at that, George.
I think that's the Army's birthday, too. 14th.
Wow.
And
that it's also going to involve a community picnic. There'll be a concert. The fireworks go off at 9 p.m. So it's going to be a giant day with all kinds of activities for people of all ages. It'll go from 4 p.m. till 9 p.m. There's going to be a flyover, George, for the flag ceremony as they honor the veterans.
Do you know what type planes?
And I think it's going to be the state police providing their planes. But we also have a flyover that's planned for the parade day, which is in July, but I'll get to that. But the flag ceremony, the picnic, the concert, and the fireworks will all take place at the high school complex. So again, that's on June 14th, which happens to be Flag Day. Very appropriate for all that to be going on. The parade, as I mentioned, is scheduled on July 12th. And it's going to start down by the monument, the Civil War monument, located on Center Street. It'll take a right on Main Street. It's about a 2-mile parade route. The lineup is at 9 a.m. The parade begins at 10 a.m. And, of course, all the cameras will be locked in by Adam and his group. And you'll get a chance to see a lot of these events on the local TV channels after the events are over. There'll be a block party on September 6th, and that'll be at the Governor Eames estate. That's going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. And we got some high-powered coordinators of each event that really have stepped up with their planning and their volunteer committees. And I think of, and I'll name them after I get through with the schedule. There's going to be a car show, George, at Borderland State Park from 9 to 1 p.m. That's on October 11th, the morning. In the evening of October 11th, there's going to be a barbecue, a concert, and a bonfire, thanks to Chief Alexander here, the chief of the fire department. He's going to be the coordinator for that event. And, of course, the local Lions Club will provide the barbecue, and there'll be a concert, and that'll be from 6 to 9 p.m., and that also will be at the high school complex. There's going to be an anniversary gala that'll take place at Stonehill College on December 27th during the college school break, and that'll be from 6 to 11 p.m., and it's going to be exciting. We're going to take a short break, and when I come back, we're going to talk about some partnership activities that'll also take place in the town of Easton during the year 2025. I'm Dave Clifton, happy to host this show. Hurry back.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, residents of Easton, friends and neighbors. This is Bill Ames,
co-host with Priscilla Almquist Olson of the Film Connection.
on ECAT now for over 20 years. We're very proud of that.
And we like to interview guests from Easton who have been involved in the film business.
Actors, producers. We're very fortunate today to have a producer of a film.
Hey Easton, I'm Mike.
And I'm Curtis. We're from Royalty Beverage, your local distributor of Polar Spring Water.
We're excited to join forces with ECAT, also supporting local media and helping ECAT thrive.
So join us in making a difference. To learn more, email us at water@eastoncat.org.
Stay hydrated, support ECAT, and let's make a positive impact together.
Thanks for your support, Easton.
Thank you, Easton.
Yeah, this is the life. Just relaxing by the beach. What could be better than this?
I've got an idea.
What?
I'd really like to find a forever home.
Forever home?
Yeah, like Jack Ryan talks about on Easton News. A forever home. All those animals at the APCSM, they get forever homes. Why not us?
Listen, man, I hate to tell you this.
Tell me what? Come on, tell me. Look, I can take it. Look at me. Come on, tell me. I can take it. Come on.
We're not real.
What are you talking about? Of course we're real. Look at us. We're sitting here on the beach, on vacation, being served raw meat, mind you. We're having a great time. How are we not real? No, thank you. I'm good. I've had enough. I've had enough. Thank you. What are you talking about? Of course we're real.
Look, it's not that we're not real. We're just not living, breathing animals. You don't even have a mouth, dude.
Well, oh yeah? Well, your eyes are just plastic.
Right back at you.
You've ruined my vacation. I can't believe you've done this.
I mean, while we're at it, why do we need a vacation? It's not like you have a job.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I'm out of here.
Cubby, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Oh, well, you have to get it eventually.
If you'd like to get your hands on a cubby of your own, scan the QR code on your screen now.
In 2023, Easton is a tight-knit community of 25,000 people. But with the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's easy to forget our past. A time when Easton's population was 6,000.
Everybody knew who everybody
and
everybody was.
And there was respect.
There was respect for everyone.
When kids enjoyed great freedom and independence.
Everybody was poor at today's standards, but we all were in the same boat and we enjoyed life.
So join me, Priscilla Almquist Olsen, as I explore what makes Easton so very special with some of its lifetime residents.
I think Easton has so much to offer, and if you're living in a community, you have to know it.
Watch Growing Up in Easton Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and Friday at 9 p.m. See you then.
Welcome back to another segment of Service Matters. My guest here today is Judge Mcaliffe. He's a guy that we're saluting. He's a veteran. He's a major. And he, of course, is retired. He's out of the military. But we thank him so much for serving, as well as all the veterans out there that may be watching. We appreciate what you have done. And I have been reviewing some of the events that will take place in the town of Easton, seeing that we're broadcasting from Easton today. We wanted to salute the town of Easton on celebrating their 300th anniversary. Can you imagine, Judge, 1725 to 2025?
It's hard. It's hard.
And it's amazing what's happened here in the town. And a lot of towns and communities are going through similar celebrations, and I think it's important to celebrate. And that's why the town of Easton came up with a theme of bringing families and community together. They thought it would be a terrific idea to get the families out to celebrate. There's been a lot of crazy things going on around the world.
That's for sure.
And the time has come for us to celebrate. And our sponsors that get involved in our radio show, they are very much in favor of sponsoring the show because of the fact that we keep it positive. If somebody were to call up with some negativity, we just push a button and thank them for calling because it should be positive. And today we have a chance to brighten it up because of the fact that we're televising the radio show. And even though our producer may be falling asleep on me today, the fact is that it's still a fun show. And the fact is that I promised you I would mention some of the partnership activities that will also take place during the year 2025 in the town of Easton. They have a motto, I should say a logo that you couldn't believe, the tricentennial logo with the clock in the center of their community. And of course, they use the orange and black colors, which stand out. And of course, they're known as the Tigers at the high school. So I wanted to mention that some of the partnership activities, they have a bike race that's going to take place. They have an ecumenical service that they're putting together with all the different faiths in the community coming together. They're going to ring the church bells on their anniversary date, which happens to be December 21st, 2025. And they have a bunch of other events. They just completed a New Year's Eve celebration over at the Oak Games Memorial Hall, and that was well attended. And Adam, what was the name of that band that played? They were absolutely terrific.
Steve Smith and the Nakeds.
Steve Smith and the Nakeds. And I know that it's a brass band with horns and trombones and trumpets, drums, and they were just absolutely fantastic. They had everybody out on the floor dancing, and it was a great way to bring in the new year, so we just want to give them a salute. But I just wanted to show you on camera the posters that are in a lot of the stores in town that list all the activities. Their Tricentennial Committee also has a brochure that's available to residents in the town, and they have a flyer for each event. They got an event that's taking place tonight, and of course I say tonight because that's when this show is being broadcast. The fact is, it's the kickoff event, and they're going to have an arcade, they're going to have games, indoor roller rink. There's not much they missed from a band, skee ball, inflatable jump horses. They're going to have food there, and it's going to be from 1 to 5 p.m., January 4th, 2025, over at Stonehill College. And of course, their sponsors are the SCU Credit Union and the Rhodes family. And if you're looking for additional information about the celebration or about this event taking place on January 4th, go to www.easton300.org. I'll repeat that for people who may be driving over a bridge. That number, www.easton300.org, and they also have the Shoveltown Brewery beer garden there. So folks, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be on a Sunday. I know a lot of folks like to listen to the Patriots, but they've had a slow down year this year, and I guess people might miss a game just to go to a celebration, but the fact is there's lots of things happening here in the town of Easton, and we salute the community and the select board for putting this celebration together, which is going to last a whole year. I remember someone asking me, Dave, what day is the celebration? And it's not on a day. It's a year-round celebration. They got something big time going on each month of the year. Now, George, were you at the Sharon 250th, or maybe you were at the Walpole 300th?
I don't believe I was at either one. When was the Sharon 250th?
That was in 2017.
Well, I was around, but I don't remember being at it, no.
But it's a great opportunity for communities to come together. I know the town of Mansfield is celebrating their 250th. The town of Stoughton in 2026 will be celebrating their 300th anniversary. They have been calling to get information about what goes on, or what is going on in the town of Easton. So, and I guess it's everybody helping everybody out, because it's a lot of responsibility. It takes 2.5 years to plan and to prepare and to raise money to make the celebration happen. It doesn't all come from a town budget. The fact is that there are people out there in the town of Easton who have been very generous, coming up with the funds to pay for the celebration. And just to, because I'm living in the community now, just to having had the opportunity to go around the community to speak to people about the celebration, they have been very cooperative. And hats off to all the town department heads in the town of Easton, because you can't do a celebration like this without their cooperation. It needs a security plan, it needs police protection, it needs road guides, it needs the fire department involvement when it comes to a bonfire or fireworks. It's been a while since this community's had bonfires and fireworks, so it's going to be a big treat for a lot of families in town. And
I didn't know they could still do bonfires.
Yeah. As long as they're controlled, and they have to have permits to do these kinds of things so that they're safe. And of course, the same thing with the fireworks. So it's going to be a year-round celebration, and I didn't say enough about the parade that they're going to have. It's going to, I think, be one of the largest parades the town has had in the town of Easton. Right now they got 6 bands, they got floats. They got the Shriners coming to Easton, and that's going to be on July 12th. They're a whole division. They got the Sheriff's Office going to join. They got the Army National Guard coming. They've got antique cars. The list goes on and on. They're going to have the Color Guard. They're going to have Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, horses, bicycles, motorcycles. The list goes on and on. There's going to be so many people in the parade that I hope there's going to be people watching and cheering the parade on. We're going to take another short break. I'm Dave Clifton here at WPRO, the voice of Southern New England. We'll see you after these important messages.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm Abby Malafato.
And I'm
Coming to you from 50 Oliver in Northeastern, this is Easton News and
Don't have time to stay up and watch ECAT channels all day long, or miss your favorite show's time slot? Don't worry, ECAT has a YouTube channel that has all the programs that we show, so you don't have to miss any of the episodes or catch up on past episodes. Search Easton Cat TV, with TV being the only capital letters. The YouTube channel has playlists for every program, even some of the programs you can download a podcast version. We even stream live events through our channel. To stay up to date with ECAT programming, make sure you look up ECAT's YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get all the alerts for the new programming premiere, and change the alerts to all to make sure you receive all of them. Remember to search Easton Cat TV, with TV being the capital letters. So there's no reason to miss any of the ECAT programming. Enjoy.
Hey Easton, I'm Mike.
And I'm Curtis. We're from Royalty Beverage, your local distributor of Polar Spring Water.
We're excited to join forces with ECAT, also supporting local media and helping ECAT thrive.
So join us in making a difference. To learn more, email us at water@eastoncat.org.
Stay hydrated, support ECAT, and let's make a positive impact together.
Thanks for your support, Easton.
Thank you, Easton.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Sick of all the new shows and movies dominating pop culture? Well, have no fear, because Old Time Movie and Old Time TV are here, where we like to add our own flair.
There's a truck out front, and if we could just get the keys.
Man, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Those are flesh-eating zombies. They upended our car, okay? We're lucky to be alive, especially Joe. I had to pull him out of the trunk, for crying out loud.
It's been a long day.
Also, make sure to check out the Radiocast, our accompanying podcast where we talk about what we've watched.
There was a lot of moments of just Mac on the raft going down the river, just internal monologuing over and over and over.
We show the classics and nothing but the classics. Well, except for the weird ones. Check us out on all our channels as well as our YouTube.
Here we go. My name is Harrison Young, and after 13 years of talk show experience, I seek to bring you the best in interviews with some of the very best guests around, including, and here we are, experts.
I've seen thousands of demons actually come out of the mirror one time.
Wow. Musical guests and artists.
If I say how I feel, would you really listen?
And interesting characters of all types.
I threw that kid across the classroom. Look, he didn't try that ever again.
Wow. Join me at Topic Time on your Easton cable station anytime they want to play it. And from what I understand, that's quite a few times a day. And I love it.
Welcome back to another segment of Service Matters. I'm Dave Clifton, and I've been doing this show for 15 years, and some years I've had a co-host of the show, and I've had some guests like this guy, George Mcaliffe. He's not a first-time participant, but he's joined me in the past. And George, you had some role models over the years, and I know one of your role models was a guy by the name of Gary Hall. He was the former athletic director at your high school, and he was well respected, not only by coaches and teachers, but also students. And back then, the high schools were all into physical education.
Correct.
And he carried that banner for many years. He eventually became an athletic director, but the fact is that I hated to see the school stop with physical education because it taught them how to take care of themselves and how to behave and what to eat. It just made sense to have it.
He definitely ran a tight ship, and we respected it. I suppose part of it was the World War II generation. They'd all been in something, you know. And every day he used to start up emphasis on safety through discipline. We'd have the gold trunk, the purple trunks, the gold T-shirts, white socks. Line up, he'd take roll call.
Yeah, you see, that's different. Years ago, people would go to school in uniforms, and especially parochial school. I remember with my twin sister, we had to dress the same. And we were shot a seat once, and one of the nuns, I'm not going to mention her name, although she's no longer with us, but the sister, until she could get another chair, my sister and I had to sit together. Because of the fact we were twins.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But it's different today.
Oh yeah, he was.
You have to get them to at least wear the appropriate clothes when they go to school.
Well, he was big too. Would, like, move with a purpose. We actually took showers at the end of the class. You know, there was time for that. And he led most classes in exercises. He'd get down and do the push-ups with us. Impressed the heck out of us when he did ring dips. Parallel bar dips are hard enough, but you know, you're about 15 years old. You look at this guy, he's 45. And he does a muscle up on the rings. Then he starts doing bar dips in them, or ring dips actually. And we just looked at each other like shaking our heads. You know, that was the kind of guy you wanted to be like when you got to be his age, because we couldn't comprehend it.
He was definitely a physical guy, no doubt about it. But the thing that impressed me the most about Gary Hall, who was very active with the Hockomock League, is the way he handled kids.
Oh, yeah.
He
Confident.
just seemed to say the right things at the right time, and he never said anything out of line, and he had a tremendous amount of respect from the student body. And now they're naming part of the athletic facility after former athletic director and physical education teacher at Sharon High School, and he was a true eagle, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. He developed a lot of confidence with patients. You know, he was a role model, patient coach. Big thing was building up the upper body strength, which a lot of kids lacked then, through rope climbing and different exercises. But
and he
mostly
was a
confidence.
veteran too, George,
Oh,
and I know
absolutely.
that you have a little background information on Gary in terms of World War II.
Certainly.
Tell us about his title in the military.
Well, Gary Hall was he went in the Army young, like the boys did, and then he was trained infantry. They got to North Africa and then Italy. Italy was the worst theater there. Not much news came home about it because it was too depressing. And they transferred him from the infantry, made him a combat medic. It was kind of a hey you thing. We need so many medics, you're the next guys in line. That's what they made him. So he was a medic and a stretcher bearer in battalion aid stations, which served right up front, never more than a kilometer back, but they had to make towards the front line with the infantry and combat engineers. They were always in range of the German artillery, no matter where they were. And he got his Bronze Star with the V device for valor and Purple Heart the same night, which is, I guess, would have been impossible for him not to get shot doing this. He and another guy volunteered to go up in front of the forward lines of the Americans and in between them and the Germans to rescue 2 American soldiers who had been wounded in a minefield. So now he's got fire coming in at him from the Germans and possibly the ability of getting hit by friendly fire, which isn't, in the minefield. So you got a picture of this. They had to go in the minefield. It was at night. First thing they had to do is get themselves in there without getting themselves blown up by a mine, locate the men wounded, treat their wounds, then one at a time carry them out on one stretcher between the 2 of them. And they had to run that twice. So they went, stop the bleeding, treat for shock, administer morphine, carry them out, and they did that twice in a row.
It's hard to believe that that kind of stuff goes on. I noticed, George, you have a hat on that has Rotary on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that in the town of Easton, they have a giant Lions Club, 60 to 100 members. And they do a lot of terrific things in the town. And I think there's room for, in different communities, cities or towns, to have organizations like that. I know Sharon is big time with Rotary, and Easton is big time with Lions Club, and then you've got the Quanians. They do a lot of different things, and it's also an opportunity for us to thank all those organizations that come together to do good community service and to reach beyond to do good in the world. I know the Lions members are very much into the eyes, and Rotary's very much into polio eradication around the world. And I know that it's something that may happen, and what a feat that is to have Rotary participating in trying to eradicate polio in the world. They're down to a couple of countries now, Afghanistan and Pakistan, and once they conquer that, they will have helped to eradicate polio in the world. And financially, many Rotarians around the world have contributed to that cause with the help from Bill Gates Jr.
And I think if I could interrupt for a moment, because I went to that luncheon, and I was impressed that people volunteered for that polio eradication, going overseas, and literally at the risk of their own life, because in Pakistan, I guess, one of the countries there, they actually executed a few of the Rotary workers because they just didn't want to have them around, which is kind of dicey when you think about that.
It is, and it's the only thing I'm aware of that they actually stopped and put the lights out and let Rotarians go in to go to the homes. They actually stopped their fighting competition in order to take care of their kids, which that was good news to hear. But we can't do anything about that. The fact is that I've enjoyed the opportunity today, George, to salute the veterans. And I know that you've been through a lot just by listening to some of your stories. And we're going to take another short break. You're listening to Service Matters, the voice of Southern New England. Yes, we are indeed a Cumulus station, WPRO. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Hey, are you a fan of history? If so, come for a venture with me, your host Drew Daugherty, as we explore some of the most impactful events of all time. We talk about U.S. history. These events led up to the creation of the First Continental Congress. World history. The Allied forces consist of France, the United Kingdom, Russia, Japan, and Italy, and influential figures. The legacy of Martin Luther King is one of selflessness, and he never stopped believing in the equal and free America. You'll get my takes and opinions, so come along for a venture on Drew's Venture History TV. Check us out between your recently scheduled programming as well as on YouTube. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ron Van Dam. I've been in radio for 3 decades now and have been doing a daily podcast-style show for a few years. But once a week, I come to the ECAT studio where they give me wine and cheese.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Good to be with you. Hey, you're looking good today.
Thanks for being here. Make yourself comfortable. This won't take too long. It'll be a little bit painful for you, but in the long run, it's important for you to go through this. And I do a TV version of the podcast. I talk about what's going on in the world and in the area and give my opinions on things. That's both something to look forward to and also a warning. So tune in to see me move my mouth while I talk. Who knows? We might have something in common. Probably not, but you never know. Catch my show here, The Ron Van Dam Show, right here on ECAT.
It's The Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of For the Love of Words. After a 3-year hiatus, join me, John Holgerson, and
Priscilla Almquist Olson,
as we interview poets and musicians. Could you give the audience a little summary of your background as a child?
When I turned 7 or so, we were car bombed. That stuck out.
And have them share their love of words.
Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me?
A thin broth of moonlight caught in the trees spreads across the garden brush, so one side of every stick shimmers while the other sides melt into one another, a mass grave of cherry, pear, and pine.
For the Love of Words at 7 p.m. on Thursdays.
Hey Easton, I'm Mike.
And I'm Curtis. We're from Royalty Beverage, your local distributor of Polar Spring Water.
We're excited to join forces with ECAT, also supporting local media and helping ECAT thrive.
So join us in making a difference. To learn more, email us at water@eastoncat.org.
Stay hydrated, support ECAT, and let's make a positive impact together.
Thanks for your support, Easton.
Thank you, Easton.
Welcome back to the final segment of Service Matters. You know, George, we were talking about role models, you growing up, and the fact that you had other models beside Gary Hall. You had teachers that you had lots of respect for. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that. That
Well,
maybe pointed you in the direction you went in.
Well, the faculty that I felt did the most for me, sorry. Of course, it was Mr. Hall and Miss Haley. But I admired the way Mr. Peckham, I call him Joe later because we played hockey together. The way he taught his class, I liked all the math teachers because I was good in that. And I had a lot of respect for Mr. Newton. He was an English teacher who didn't look like it. He's kind of, by the time a little older, a little rotund, and very, very mellow. He turned out to be it seems all the war stuff, but he turned out to be a Navy fighter pilot in World War II who had actually been captured by the Japanese and tortured. I won't go into the torture he talked about. But that was impressive. And just overall, the whole faculty is pretty good. There's only one, I can honestly say there's only one teacher in the 4 years I didn't like. And of course,
and we won't mention that name.
No.
It's a positive show. That's right. The fact is that there's a lot of teachers and coaches, whether it be in Sharon, like the Dudley Davenports, the late Dudley Davenport, the late Joel Peckham, and the late Gary Hall. And then you had the Moscato family here in the town of Easton, and his name is Val Moscato. He used to be a track coach. He coached basketball, football. He was a guy that they named the stadium after here in the town of Easton at Oliver Ames High School. And well respected. He was one of the old-time coaches who he demanded discipline and was well respected and had a great sense of humor. And there's other coaches that come and go, and people don't realize that they spend a lot of extra time between practices, and they don't do it just for money. They do it because they love the sport.
It's got to be something there to help the kids because they spend some long hours there. Normally, John, think of a teaching day as about 7.5 hours besides the homework the academic teachers take home. But yeah, the coaches are there. They get in early and they stay late. That's true.
So, Judge Mcaliffe, we want to thank you once again and commend you on your service to the military and to the United States of America. You ended up with being a major in the U.S. Army.
Yeah.
That required a lot of work, and you had to do a lot to get to where you were.
Well, I had a lot of help from the sergeants and good lieutenants later on. So.
Yeah. But we thank you for your years of service. We thank ECAT for hosting our WPRO radio show today. And thank you, Adam Carrero, for all of your help and support. We'd like to take this opportunity to wish the best to the town of Easton as they celebrate their 300th anniversary, bringing families and community together. And I think it's got to be special because they're going to have something for people of all ages that are residents of the town. And they also invite non-residents to come in and to enjoy some of the activity that will be taking place. And again, if you want more information, go to www.easton300.org and you can get the entire schedule of what's happening. You'll be able to have the opportunity to buy some merchandise. And of course, the first event is on Saturday, January 4th. It's the kickoff event at Stonehill College. And it'll be a celebration that you'll want to see. I know I've been in touch with other towns that are having their celebrations. They have called me and I told them, make sure you come to the events and then you can pick up some ideas. But thank you again, Judge, and a big salute out there to all the veterans who have served in our armed forces. I'm Dave Clifton, bidding you farewell.
And Dave Clifton is a veteran himself, I might add.
And very proud. And that's going to wrap it up for our show today. I'm Dave Clifton here along with, I should say, a guy who has served us well, Judge Mcaliffe. Go forth to serve, Do it with a smile on your face. And I always say this, that if you're going to do something good to help someone out, certainly consider doing it with the dignity that it deserves. Have a nice weekend.